Hey YouTube, this is Daisy Papa 8989 over here, bringing you my latest Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile. I'm bringing today a deck that I've been working on for the past couple of months, and it's X Sabers. Just finally got my Empress Blade, so the deck is finally complete. So without further ado, I'll show you the build. First up, three X-Saber Faltros. These are basically literally your main monster reborns of the decks. Allows you to swarm the field really easily, and basically pretty much OTK. A lot of people only run two since they can be a dead draw, but from what I've seen from my testing, I haven't had a problem with three, so I'm sticking with three. Next up are three X-Saber Bogart Knights. Basically, these are your marauding captains of the deck. Allows you to set up for your synchro summons and your Faltro plays. A lot of people run two, but with the introduction of Exceed monsters, I am now running three of them. Now, since I can just, summon Bogart, special another Bogart, then go into a rank 4 Exceed monsters. So, running three of them will no longer be dead. Next up are three Saber Fulham Knights. Basically, these are your Necro Gardeners of the deck. Negates your opponent's monster's attacks, and when it destroys a defense mode monster, you can special summon a level 4 lore X Saber monster from your graveyard back to the field. So you can special summon a Bogar Knight or Dark Soul, what have you, and go for a Synchro Summon right after the battle. So, really good card to run. Next up are your XX Saber Dark Soul. I've run three of these. These are your Sangas of the deck. When sent to the graveyard from the field, you basically can search for any X Saber during the end phase. And what I love about it is that you can basically stack their effects by just sending the same Dark Soul multiple times to the graveyard. So, really awesome card. Have to run three. No reason why not to run three. Next up is two XX Saber Emmer's Blades. These are your recruiters of the deck. Basically, search out for another level 4 X Saber monster when it's destroyed by battle. I've run two of them, mainly because of another card choice which I've run, which you'll see later. Next up are two X-Saber Pashul. Basically, these are your Spirit Reapers of the deck, and your level 2 tuners, what allows you to make your level 6s and your level 8 monsters. Really great card, can't be destroyed by battle. Only downside to it is that if it's face up in defense mode during your opponent's standby phase, you take 1,000, but that's not going to really hurt you that much. Next up is Gore's Emissary of Darkness. Great card to run, prevent OTKs. Nothing more to say about it. Next up is Xavier Arabellum. Great card to run. If it hits directly, destroying your opponent's cards. Really awesome card. Next up is Super Nimble Mega Hamster. I run this over a third Emmer's Blade, mainly because of its high defense. It can search out for Arabellum or a Dark Soul, in which you can set up for a big push on your next turn, and its high 1800 defense basically pretty much guarantees it to stay on the field if your opponent attacks it with pretty much any 4-star monster. So, really great card. And last but not least is Effect Trailer. Great card to run. Disrupt your opponent's plays and allows you to basically take control of the board. Next up are the spells. Draw power of the deck. 2 Pot of Duality. A lot of people run 3, but I only have 2 of them, so I'll run a third one once I get it. Next up are 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. Common sense to run these. Get rid of those back row. I would run 3 if I could. Giant True Name. Common sense to run it. So next are the staples. Reborn. Dark Hole. Book of Moon. Common sense to run these. Enemy Controller. I run this mainly because I like plays where I can tribute my Dark Soul or a dead X Saber monster and take control of one of my opponent's monsters. So really awesome card to run. And last but not least is Mind Control. With the number of tuners I do run in this deck, Mind Control's usefulness is really great in this deck. So you can just steal one of your opponent's monsters, summon your own tuner, go for a Synchro Summon. Really awesome card. And last but not least are the traps. 2 Solemn Warnings, common sense to run these. 2 Gotham's emergency calls. Basically allows you to revive your X-Sabers. These are your double-edged sword techniques of the deck. Great part about these is that the monsters don't blow up at the end phase, which is good. Solemn Judgment, common sense to run it. D-Prison, take care of those pesky Stardust Dragons, Sanguins, or Recruiters, or whatever. Torrential Tribute, clear your opponent's board before they're able to make big plays. Mirror Force, I run Trap Stun, basically freeze your opponent's back row so that he can go for a big push. And last but not least, 7 Tools of the Bandit. Basically deal with your opponent's counter traps and other back row problems. Next up is the extra deck. Allied Justice Catastor, Naturia Beast, really awesome card. They get your opponent's spell cards, great card to run. Rhynak, 2 XX Saber Hunlays. Basically, these are your heavy storm of the deck. When a Synchro Summon, blow up 3 of your opponent's spells or traps. Awesome card to run. Naturia Barkion, great card to run. Negate your opponent's traps. X-Saber Arabellum. A lot of people underrate this card a lot, but I actually like this card, and his usefulness is seriously underrated, so I would always continue to run this. Really great card. Next up is Black Rose Dragon, Colossal Fighter, Scrap Dragon, Red Dragon Archfiend, Stardust Dragon, Trishula, X-Saber Gothams, and last but not least, Chimera Tech Forces Dragon. I cite Cyber Dragon, so this is why I would main this. And that's deck, YouTube. Appreciate some feedback on the deck and tell me what you think. So comment, rate, subscribe, and enjoy, and peace out.